from Studio 4 of Radio Television Brunei, this is Living with Passion with your host, Mr. Soon Lu.
Welcome to Living with Passion. Let's give all of you a big hand again. Yeah. When is the last time that you did something that surprised yourself? I mean, you didn't expect you to do that something, and then when you did it, you're like, wow, I did that something. So a few years ago, I was having a Christmas celebration in Singapore, and I'm thinking to myself, what have I done this year that surprised me? And I'm honest to myself, and I think I have done nothing that surprised me. It's there and then I decided, it's on the 25th of December, that I better do something this year such that I surprise myself. So I'm thinking through my journey and go, what would be something I've been thinking about doing but never got it done, right? And then I remember when I was young, I'm thinking about traveling through the desert of Australia and drive down the desert of Australia. I'm like, wow, that sounds so sexy. But then I get worried because like, wow, if I die there, if no one, think about, no one is there, then what happened, right? But I say, you know what, let's do it. So I booked myself the ticket the next day to Australia, no excuse. And I spent the evening thinking about, should I get a GPS phone or not? Because if you get trapped there, at least you have a phone, right? But I decided, you know what, let's give it all out. No phone, if anything, you just all out adventure. So long story very short, I drive through the desert. Actually, there's a road there, so it's not as wow as I thought. But nonetheless, it's amazing experience because I never have that before. Desert is just nothing. You can drive in there for years, not years, but days and days, and you don't see nothing. But the interesting thing is this. At the end of that desert drive, which is about 5 days, it's all red and brown sand for a while, right? And all of a sudden, I saw on my left-hand side, white patch. So guess what are those white patches of things? So guess. It's Christmas, means it's summer in Australia, right? So it's definitely not snow. So what is that? Desert. Desert beach. No, okay. It's salt. Salt lake is like whole patch of salt lake. I never seen salt lake before. So in my mind, maybe it's like, maybe it's thin crust of salt on top like ice. And then if you walk, it would drop, right? I'm like, wow, I never saw that before. I say, why don't I go there and give it a shot, right? And that's what I did. Drove for about 20 minutes, finally found a small place I can walk down to the salt lake. Walked for about half an hour. That's a long walk, right? And then I arrived at there, no one around. And I'm thinking to myself, how cool would it be if I walk to the center of that lake? But I'm scared. Because you wouldn't know, whether it would drop or not, whether you would die. But life is like that. If you never try, how would you know? So I start walking. At the beginning, it's okay because there are a lot of footprint around, so okay, right? So walk, right? And then all of a sudden, I realized that there's only one set of footprint left, meaning this is a place that no one been before. So when you are at a place whereby no one's been before, what do? You might walk and then you drop, right? So I did what I can, which is to do this, right? Okay, firm, right? Jump, okay, can. Then I take one step. And then finally I came to a place whereby me and the set of footprint left is on the same ground. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Anything beyond that is unsafe already. Maybe it's time to go home. And that's what I did, right? I turned around and I start walking. And then I think to myself and say, that's not fair. Because I didn't come here so far to just quit here. So I keep jumping and walking and jumping until I'm at the middle of that. And then I ask myself, what is this year, the next year is going to be for me? And something came to me and it say, if you can risk your life, in my mind I'm risking my life because I don't know how, whether I'll drop or not, then I own it to myself to go all out in my life. So I find a stone and I wrote on the sand, all out. So my question for all of us is, if you can go all out in your life to try out something which you have never done before, what would that be? And that would be a topic for today. Should we get started? Yeah. All right, let's give all of you a big hand. So joining us today is an amazing lady who, when an opportunity knocked on her door, when most would not take it, she took it. Okay, many of you might have known she's the first and still the only lady in Brunei to be on South Pole. Yeah, I'm thinking of South Pole, that is so dangerous, and yet she took that journey. And she's none other than Era. Let's put our hands together for Era. Thank you for being with us on the show. When I saw Era, I thought, wow, South Pole lady, must be some gigantic adventure lady. And all of a sudden I saw Era, it's like, hey, she's like all of us, right? So my question is, what happened in the first place such that you jumped into this journey?
So actually it was a newspaper article in Borneo Bulletin. And they were
local Borneo Bulletin?
Yeah, local Borneo Bulletin. And they were asking for like a Brunei lady to join an expedition to the South Pole, and that if anyone was interested to apply at this website. So I applied, and then they shortlisted me. So I did an interview at CFBT.
Actually, before that, right? How many of you saw that article too? No. Secretly admit it. Maybe you saw the article. It's like, no, it's not me. For someone else, right? Okay. But you applied.
Yeah.
Yeah. What made you apply?
I think my mom my mom was a diplomat, and we always went abroad to, so we went to Australia and some other countries. So I never really had a chance to kind of like represent like Brunei or represent my school in something, you know, because like when I was in like Australia, you know, they're all like what we call orang putih, you know, Westerners, and then they were like all like bigger than me, kind of like faster, stronger than me. So it was like hard to kind of like represent the school in something because they were all better than me. So so I didn't get a chance to do that. So when I saw this article, it was kind of like, oh, this is my chance to kind of represent Brunei and like.
And you grabbed that, and you applied.
Yeah.
So you don't worry about your family saying, no, Era, I don't think you should do that?
No, actually I did. So because I was married at that time, so I was like, okay.
At that time only? You're still married?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So you're already married at that time. Just to be sure, right?
Yeah. So, okay, I said I better ask my husband for permission and ask my boss as well because I was working. So they said, yeah, why not go ahead and apply? And I think that's because they didn't know I would actually get it. So,
so they said, sure, go ahead.
So they said, yeah, go ahead, you know, try your luck. So thankfully I got it. So we, from the shortlisted candidates, 2 was picked, and then it was me and Janku Aniza, and then we went to Norway, Oslo, to do a final training and then team selection for the final team. Yeah.
How was the experience?
So South Pole was amazing, like, you know, like all white. I felt like I had gone into like a spaceship, like rocket ship, and then like landed on the moon or something.
What made you say that?
Because I think it was the plane. We went on an Ilyushin plane. It's like a Russian plane, and like, you know, it's not like your typical airplane where you have like windows. You know, this like plane had only like 2 windows in the front, so it was like, you know,
small, and then you only see a bit of that, right?
Yeah, just that. So, and then suddenly we landed, and then it's like all white, and then we were all in, you know, like our
special effect,
cold gear. Yeah. So, and we were like so scared of like the sun being too strong. So, you know, we were like all decked in gear lah, like, you know, everything covered, like, you know, eyeglasses, and then like your gloves, so no skin showing. So that's why I felt like a bit of like an astronaut.
Astronaut in South Pole.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say is the most interesting thing for you, or the most dangerous thing, if at all, on that expedition?
On that expedition, I think most people would say on our team it was like the 56 days that we were there that we couldn't take a shower. That was like
it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Like 2 months, you know, not showering, or and like the first like like our first shower was like wow, and then all the skin, like hair, coming off after 2 months.
The dirt.
The dirt. Yeah.
And it's cold.
And it's cold. Yeah. We had hot water that time, so that was good.
How do you get hot water at that time? You went to a base camp.
Yeah, so it was at the base camp. So after we had finished the expedition, and then we were like in the base camp for like 1 or 2, 3 days, and people were like, there is a bath where you can take a shower, and we're like, what? Now you tell us, and we're like, oh my god, people must have been thinking that we were like intentionally like not taking a bath.
It's part of the thing. You must smell the right way to go South Pole.
Yeah.
And maybe after they've let you finish the South Pole, then they allow you to take shower.
Yeah.
As a reward.
Yeah.
So when you arrive at South Pole, how's that feeling like? How's South Pole like? And I've never been to South Pole.
So actually, where the South Pole is, there's like a base station, an all-year base station owned by America. So it's the Scott Amundsen station, and it's like open all year. And that was the thing that we saw from far away. Actually, when we were like skiing, it looked so small, and I was like, that can't be the station. Then like as we started to get closer and closer, then it started to get bigger and bigger, and then we realized, oh, okay, so that's the South Pole. And then there were like flags everywhere, because they were doing some testing.
There's experimentation.
Yeah, experimentation. So we weren't really sure where to go. And actually, we had someone receiving us, but he somehow missed us. So we kind of went a roundabout way into.
Miss you? Can you imagine you are in the middle of South Pole and so you get lost?
Yeah, so yeah, sort of.
Wow. Okay, they find you eventually.
Yeah.
So 56 days you can't walk on South Pole, so you have to
ski.
You have to cross country, that kind of.
Yeah.
How's the experience be? 1 day is tiring enough, but 56 days must be.
So no, actually, 56 days we were there, but the actual skiing was more like 34 days. Yeah.
But still.
Yeah, still though. We couldn't.
One day I'm like flat out, and I need my hot shower, but 34 days.
Yeah, so it was like 7-8 hours a day we were skiing and pulling like a poke. It was like 40 kilos of our weight, so like we were pulling that.
What kept you going at that time? 34 days straight, almost straight off.
Yeah.
8 hours per day.
Just getting, because you know your goal. So it's just the goal that kept us going, we're going to reach there. Because like we would plot our, plot where we were that day. So each day I would see that we're getting closer. So that just kept us going. And I think as time went by, we actually went faster. And we were supposed to actually reach on 1st January, but we arrived there like 2-3 days earlier.
So you can stay there, celebrate the New Year, wait for that to happen.
Yeah. So when because it's the South Pole, so like when we celebrated, we went around the pole, and we were like, Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year, because like every time zone.
Can you imagine for us like New Year, okay, time to sleep, and yet here you are, arrive at a place where you just. Not many people in this world have been.
Yeah.
I think of running a marathon. Usually a marathon lasts what? If you're good, okay, not that good, okay, 6 hours maybe, and you finish a marathon. And for you, it's like 8 hours per day for 34 days in a cold environment. And what do you learn from that journey?
I think I learned because we couldn't really talk with each other, because we were walking in a line. So like if you wanted to talk with the person in front of you, like the person had to look back, and we had all the gear, so we couldn't really talk with each other. So I think a lot of us had to talk with ourselves. So I think.
Hang on. Okay, what do you mean by that? Okay, let's clarify. Talk to yourself.
So yeah, you have conversations in your mind, and then. I think we learn more about ourselves. Sometimes we're busy with our lives. We don't get to kind of reflect back on our decisions. So I think we kind of went on a life journey, thinking what we did in the past and what we should do in the future to improve on it. or you know, maybe you did something wrong, you know, what you can, like, you know, maybe, yeah, you can like improve on. So I think, you know, that journey kind of taught me to kind of, yeah, reflect more on life, you know, take time to, you know, stand still and, you know.
Yeah, it's
reflect
sometimes
back.
during our busy times that we, you know, we forgot, you know, who we are.
Yeah.
You know, we have so much thing, we have so much WhatsApp coming in, Facebook message coming in. But it's those times when we spend our time in the wild that we really face
Yes.
ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's what you saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you like what you see?
Some parts, but some not. So yeah, so I try to improve on it.
Got that.
Yeah.
Okay. So how's like? Oh, you brought us something.
Yes.
Yes. Can we take a look?
So when I was younger,
Yes.
I read Reader's Digest. So I
And
never.
before that, let's check, right? Who read Reader Digest when they are younger? They're still reading Reader Digest. Okay, good. Okay.
So
I'm a big fan.
yeah, so I never thought the day would come when I would be in Reader's Digest. So
Wow.
this is actually the edition that we were in. It's the January 2010 edition. And then there's actually a picture of us while we were doing our training in Norway.
Can you imagine Bruneian on Reader Digest around the world? Yeah.
Yeah. So this is actually our leader, Felicity Aston. So she's the leader of the expedition from the UK. And then this is the picture of us in the tent. So I'm the one on top of her.
And she's right there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
So, and the other thing I never thought I would be was on like a cover of magazine. So here I am. It's a local kind of magazine, Juara Pelajar. And that was a picture of me when we went to NBC in America to do like a breakfast kind of talk show.
Show the inside. I guess that's another picture
Yep.
of you inside.
So this is me actually at the South Pole with the Bruneian flag.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you can say Bruneian has been to South Pole.
Yeah.
And until today, you remain so to be the only Bruneian on South Pole.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's good, but I think also because it's quite expensive. I think that's why not a lot of
Sponsor.
yeah. We luckily got sponsored by Kaspersky Lab, so
Okay.
they sponsored us $500,000. If you wanted to go on your own, it would cost you like 50,000 to go.
Got it.
Yeah. So
So they really sponsor you a lot of money for
Yeah.
that. You have another one?
yeah. So this is the ISB calendar. So I was also on a calendar. I never thought the day would come as well. And I also have the actual article that. So this is the article you guys missed.
Bruneians invited to join all female
Antarctic.
Antarctic ski trip.
Yeah.
You pick it up.
Yeah. So the date on this is, so the date is 12th July 2008. Yeah.
So moral of the story, make sure you read your newspaper.
Yeah. Yeah, the more knowledge you have, the more power, right?
Okay. So now that you have done South Pole, what's next for you?
So now I'm a mother of 2 sons, 2 boys.
The next journey of life begin for you?
Yes, next journey. So I think there's a time and place for everything. I think my time has already gone, but maybe when the kids are older, who knows? But so after the expedition, I did my master's in public administration in Cornell.
In Cornell? Wow.
Ithaca, New York.
Which is one of the top Ivy League university there. Not many people who have gone, to be fair. And you went there?
Yeah. And then, so my husband supported me. We all went as a family. So I think it's my turn to support him to get his degree now. Yeah.
Okay. Tell us a little bit more about your time in Cornell.
So our time in Cornell, yeah. So actually, I studied in the UK, in London, and you know the weather there. I don't know. I'm sure lots of people have been to London. You know, the weather is like, you don't know when it's going to rain, you know. you have to kind of bring an umbrella every time.
But it
So-
doesn't rain as hard as Brunei.
Yeah. It doesn't rain as hard as Brunei,
Yes.
but it's like in and out. You don't know when it's gonna rain. So I was like, oh, okay, in America, you know, it doesn't rain that much. It's like always sunny. But the one place I picked, it rains all the time. So in Ithaca, New York, is quite rainy, rainy weather because it's near a lake. So yeah, so it was like being back in Brunei or back in London. But the good thing was that they had snow. So
It's a different variety.
yeah, so and then my son and my husband got to kind of like play in the snow, and like we tried some tobogganing.
Got that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What got you, or what got me about your story is if you look at Era, right, it can be any one of us. But what she did is many of us will have seen this.
Yeah.
Okay. And actually it doesn't say South Pole.
No.
So it's just a ski trip, right? But what you did is that you took that opportunity and say, you know what, this is something I want, and you jump into that. And I bet, after that you decide to go overseas, in this case to Cornell to study, which is again not many people would do. So sometimes it's about taking one journey and then the next journey open up for you. And if you look at some of your peer or friends or families, right, which might not have that chance to do that, or some of our audience here, or some of our friends here who might not have that chance, what are the message that you have for them that might not have that opportunity to do so?
I think, while you're young and like, you have the opportunity to do it, you should grab the opportunity. Because like now you're young, you're just student, you're just probably a daughter or a son. Like me, I have so many titles like mother, wife, daughter, employee, you have so many titles, you have so many responsibilities. You don't have that opportunity. So while you're young, you should grab the chance now. I mean, maybe, doesn't mean like your life is over, like, as soon as you get married and stuff. But like you have to wait, maybe when your children are grown up, then you can take the opportunity.
So that's the next
again.
adventure coming up for you.
Yeah, hopefully.
So where's North Pole coming up?
In 10 years' time.
So now that you've done all those, right? South Pole, Cornell, be a mom. What are the other adventure that you think you might do before your children grow up? Something that you can do now. What would be some of those things?
There's not much.
Tough question, right? It's like, after you climb one mountain, what's next for you?
Maybe KK.
Let's start with that first, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I did try running marathon before. It would be nice if I could improve my time. Yeah. Hopefully if my sons get a bit older, then they can join me. That'd be great. Yeah. Could do it like as a family thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Era. Any last message for the audience or for people?
Just grab the opportunity. Like read the newspaper. Read the internet. If you don't know what opportunity is out there, then you can't grab it.
Yep.
I always read the newspaper, like even such small things as like there's a fruit festival.
Go for it, right?
Yeah.
All right. So life is very, very simple and can be very funny. Opportunity is all around us. The question is, do we jump in and grab that opportunity or not? In this case, Era did and grab that. And get this, right? We all live in a place whereby there are lots of opportunity for all of us. The question is, do we actively grab that? And as we grab the opportunity, we become another person. Actually, to be fair, we become more of really who we need to be. So thank you, Era, for being such an inspiration for grabbing up and be the first and still the only Bruneian that go to South Pole. All the best in your future adventure. And thank you. Let's give Era a big hand. All right, here we are. Thank you, Era, for sharing with us her amazing journey. Let's give her a big hand.
Yeah. And again, I think this is a living proof of wherever we are in life, we really owe it to ourselves to really live it out, because the only person that stops us is really ourselves.
Yeah.
And if you never reach out and make that happen, who else will make that happen for you? So with that, thank you. And wrapping this up, we have Bengiran Salehuddin and Bengiran Magno bring us an amazing title. With that, thank all of you for being here tonight. Thank you, Era, again for being here. Let's give all of you a big hand for being on Living with Passion. And remember this, live with passion.
I had a few, and then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I did more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was cloud, I yet it up and beat it out. I fancied all